Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Listen, we got a big upset show this week. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Check out my Patreon, link in the description. First game, we got the Tennessee Titans plus 3.5 at the Green Bay Packers. And I know I'm going to take a lot for this pick, but the Titans will win and cover this game. The spread with the plus 3.5 is a definite money pick the more I think about it. When you think about this Green Bay team, I felt the same thing last year. I never seen a more unimpressive 13-3 team. Now they're 11-3, and are we seeing anything better? And I know Green Bay can't control their schedule, but who have they beaten? Who have they beaten that's a winning team in this league? The Jets have the same amount of wins against winning teams in this league as the Green Bay Packers. And when I look at the Green Bay Packers, yes, Aaron Rodgers is just an ultimate competitor. He's one of the best players in this league. But what else do the Packers have? Do they have a great secondary? No. Do they have a good front seven? No. Do they have a great pass rusher? No. Do they have a great running back or offensive line? Absolutely not. This is literally the Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams show. Then you look at the Tennessee Titans, and they got talent for days. We know we got problems with Mike Vrabel, but we're starting to see Tennessee peak at the right time. And here's the matchup to watch in this game. This Green Bay front seven against D. Henry and this big offensive line. I think this is where Tennessee wins this game. They're going to pound it. And when the dangerous thing about Tennessee, when they run the ball well, they're not afraid to do play action and work that ball down the field to A.J. Brown. It's a winning formula. It's won in the NFL since the 50s. You run the ball, you give your defense some rest off the field, you run the ball some more, then you hit someone with a play action and break their back with a 60, 50-yard throw. That's what you do in this league if you want to be successful when the weather turns cold, unless you have Pat Mahomes or unless you have 4 good wide receivers, which the Packers don't have. And I'm looking at what the Packers are doing offensively, and I've been saying this all year about the Packers. They'll play 2 really good quarters, but once the opposing defense starts adjusting, starts doubling Davante Adams, starts sending blitzes from the nickel, once those things start happening, we see Green Bay 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, just lots of punts for the next 2 quarters. That's where we're at with Green Bay. And we have to remember this Titans defense has problems. I'm not here saying the Titans defense doesn't have problems. I think Green Bay will have a big first half. But I think Tennessee takes over this game in the second half. And we saw what Dalvin Cook has done to this Green Bay defense over the past few years. And we've seen what elite running backs can do to this Green Bay front seven. What makes you think Derrick Henry's not going to do that? What makes you think that with Tennessee season on the line? I got Tennessee to win. Next game, we got the Minnesota Vikings at the New Orleans Saints. Minnesota's +7, and I don't think this is going to hit. But we always have to talk about this game. Remember the playoffs last year? The Vikings were +8, +9. No one thought they had a chance to win, and then they came in and won a playoff game in the Superdome. Minnesota, they can't stop anyone on defense. But one thing Minnesota does have is offense, and maybe the best offensive player in the league right now in Dalvin Cook. That gives Minnesota a fighting chance. And I've been saying it all year. Everyone's impressed with the Saints because they only lost by 3 to the Saints. To the Chiefs. I'm just not all in on this Saints bandwagon. I don't think Drew Brees coming back moves mountains like some people think it does. I don't think Drew Brees coming back propels this team to a Super Bowl. If they do get to a Super Bowl, they'll have to earn it and they'll have to win by field goal. Because this Saints offense isn't as explosive as it used to be. And we can use that Chiefs game as evidence all day. But this Saints team is very, very vulnerable, and you will see it against the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think my Minnesota Vikings win, but I think this game is closer than you guys think. I'm seeing people saying 20-point win for the Saints. Yes, Vikings are bad right now, but Vikings will rise to the occasion. And this is a little bit of a rivalry game. I just wanted to mention it. Next game, here's one that I do believe hits. We got the Miami Dolphins. We could say my Miami Dolphins now after that big bet last week. The Miami Dolphins at the Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas is +3. And listen, I got the Raiders to pull this upset, and it's because Marcus the Magic Man Mariota. If you're telling me you get Marcus the Magic Man Mariota for 16 games, I'm going to scoff. I'm going to be frustrated. I'm not going to like the results that brings. But a short dip in the pool with Marcus Mariota, a short 3-4 game stretch with him, I think that's going to reap some dividends for this Las Vegas Raiders offense. Like, we need to understand where we were at with the Raiders. The Raiders offense was looking like an offense without ideas, without a spark, without big plays, without a way to get it to that dominant tight end Waller. And we know the Raiders offense is rather simple. Run the ball, play action, give it to that dude Josh Jacobs and let him do his thing. But we have seen the wear and tear on Josh Jacobs as the season went on. That's why the Magic Man coming in here is going to help the Raiders. You're going to be able to do some read option. Marcus feels comfortable getting outside the pocket. And if there is a big weakness on this Dolphins defense, I think you can pound them. I think you can really pound this front seven. They're not too big. They don't have anyone too dominant. The linebacking core isn't too great. I feel like you can pound this front seven. And then we're seeing all the injuries on this Miami offense. We don't know if we're going to get Devontae Parker. We don't know if we're going to get Guy Secchi. This is a good matchup for the Raiders defense. The Raiders defense struggles when a team throws aerial, when they're working 10, 15, 20, 30 yards down the field. That's when this Raiders defense struggles. But we know what this Miami offense is going to do. They're going to play old school football. Sure, they're going to be in the shotgun. Sure, they're going to spread it out. Sure, they're going to use wide receiver screens. But at the end of the day with Tua, this Miami offense is a running offense. It's a different offense than it was when Fitzpatrick was at the helm. I think the Raiders will be plenty physical for this game on both sides of the football, and I think that makes a difference. And it's not me taking a shot at Miami. It's just when you look at the injuries on Miami and when you look at how motivated this Raiders team is going to be, this Raiders teams are going to get it. And that little spark, that little extra spice that the Magic Man Mariota adds to this mix, we'll pull this over. Raiders win in a close game. Next game, we got the Carolina Panthers at the Washington No-Names. Carolina's +2.5, +3, depending on which bookie you choose to place your bets with. This is rather simple. Let's just not look at Carolina. Let's just not look at Washington. Let's look at one man, Dwayne Haskins. If Dwayne Haskins starts, you have to pull the trigger on Carolina, right? And I know Carolina has tons of problems with Teddy Bridgewater. It seems like every game he gets the ball with a chance to either tie it to move it to OT or a chance to win it. And he always relinquishes his opportunities. But I don't think we need to be dramatic here. I think we need to take a deep breath. We can understand that Teddy Bridgewater is a fraud. But we can understand that this Carolina offense can move this football even when Christian McCaffrey doesn't play. Can this Washington offense move the football with Dwayne Haskins playing against a young, hungry Carolina defense that plays fundamentally sound football? I don't think so. So this game, I don't want to make it too simple because we know these games are complex. We know nothing is easy in Vegas. But if Dwayne Haskins plays, it's Carolina for the upset. If Alex Smith is coming in and playing, then that adds a whole different congruence to this algebra equation that I don't want to get into right now. But I'm pretty sure Dwayne Haskins plays. I know he got in trouble for the strip club incident, but I'm sure he'll be playing because this Alex Smith situation doesn't look good with the leg. Maybe Alex Smith will surprise us and play, but this is just some food for thought. Next game, we got the Giants +10 at the Baltimore Ravens. And listen, I'm not saying the Giants are going to come in here and win, but I do think the Giants cover this +10, and I do think they leave with a good account of themselves. The Giants can stop the run. The Giants don't do a lot of things well under Joe Judge. They don't throw the ball well. They don't run the football well. They cover decent. But one thing this team can do is they can stop the run. They got a really big and brutish front seven, and I think that's the fundamental thing you need to stop Lamar Jackson on this Ravens team. Now, Colt McCoy at quarterback is always something that's going to worry you and is always something that's going to bring the level of your team and play down. So we need to remember that. That's why I'm not coming in here swinging. That's why I'm not throwing a haymaker saying the Giants will win this. I just believe it will be closer than people think. Now, if you add Daniel Jones to this equation, I might get a little bit more excited. And listen, I'm happy that the Ravens have found their symbiosis. They look a lot better. They're peaking at the right time. They look like they're ready to fight to the death when it gets to the playoffs. I'm just a little bit skeptical about it, and I want to see what they do against this Giants defense because we need to remember, we need to just take out these last 2 weeks and understand that this Giants defense is pretty good. The last upset I got, people are going to get mad that I'm saying this is an upset, but you got the Indianapolis Colts at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh is +1.5, +2. I got Pittsburgh to win, and we know the Colts are playing better football right now, and we know the Steelers are in an absolute free-for-all. There's no other words for it. But I don't think the Steelers lose 5 games to finish this season under Mike Tomlin. And the Colts defense, they can ball, they can play. They definitely are great against stopping the run. Big Ben's, he's been slowed down these last few weeks. They aren't getting the big plays. And I think Pittsburgh will change their style on offense. They have to take a few deep shots early. They have to back up the front seven. They have to take chances. And I think Pittsburgh will do that. But also another thing I think people are forgetting about when we're analyzing this game is this Pittsburgh defense can ball. And yes, they didn't look all that great last week against Ryan Finley, but it's not like Big Ben left them in the best positions, right? They just didn't come out to play. And at a certain point, you can't always keep looking in the rear view when you're betting, or you're never going to win any money. Because things change week to week, matchups shift and transform week to week. So I don't want you guys looking in the rear view and getting worried about that Cincinnati game. I think this Pittsburgh defense comes in, and I think they play better than the Colts defense. I think it's rather simple. I don't know the over-under for this. I'll be doing the video later today, but I would imagine this would go under with my calculations. I think this is a close playoff January-type football game, even though it's in December. I think Pittsburgh gets this. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share the videos. I will have a live call-in show Friday. I think it's Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, or maybe even Christmas. We'll see what's going on with that because I know the Vikings are playing at 4. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe.